So you're stuck at 700 and that sucks. But in this game, I'm going to show you an opening system that you can play with white and with black, which I think is very solid and hopefully will help you win more games. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Alright, the C and the D system. So first you're always going to play the C pawn one up, and then the D pawn. And you can play this with white or with black. And it's supposed to be quite a solid formation. Okay, they're going to go for some sort of King's Indian, which is fine. We're just going to keep focus on developing, so we're going to develop this knight. Maybe get out this bishop before closing the pawn chain, because you always want to try to get this sort of like diamond formation with your pawns. And yeah, basically that's what's going on. So we got the bishop out. We're gonna get our little diamonds, and we're gonna go with the knight. Okay, now this will happen a lot. You will always respond by just unpinning that knight, no questions asked, and yeah. Continue with your life. We're gonna castle. That's also very important. Try to do that as quickly as possible. And yeah, let's see what life brings us. Okay, so many times I like to get out my queen here when they put the bishop out, to see if they realize that that pawn is hanging. Okay, they do. That's good. That's good. So I guess the next thing we're going to do is just centralize our rooks. Because they need to be centralized, guys. It's important. That's very important to do, to centralize your rooks. And basically we're just hoping for our opponent to eventually run out of steam and start doing crazy things. Like so. Although that is not that crazy. Trying to get out our bishop. For the knight, they're going to try to trade. So let's see. If they take, I'm actually inclined to take with this pawn. Maybe opening up something quite juicy in the future. You know? So let's see what happens. Is he gonna follow up that move with actually taking or not? Okay, they are. So yeah, let's just do that. Actually, let's do exactly that. We might have to get the bishop out of the way though, but that's fine. Okay, they moved the knight there. That's too bad. So maybe we'll have to delay that move for just a little bit. If they go back now, that bishop is trapped, just so you know. Because then I can move the pawn up and it's lights out for the bishop. It's got nowhere to go. Okay, let's take with the bishop, so we attack the rook. Do they see that? No, they don't. So that's a free rook. Well, there's the first real big mistake. It was gonna happen someday. You just had to wait for it. Let's try to get our knight a little bit more involved in the attack, if we could. Although we did give up control over this square, and that could lead to something nasty. Real nasty. We're gonna see, is the 700 gonna find that move? Knight here. We're looking. But we can get our knight here, and then we could get our queen here, and things could get super ugly. So yeah, he took away that square for his own knight. So that's, oh, Jesus, I'm not great with drawing the arrows. Alright, does he see the lethal combination that is building up here? He didn't see that his rook was hanging. So, yeah. So far, so good, eh? So basically, we are up, you know, because a rook is worth more than what did we trade it for? A bishop. So, okay, that's actually not bad. Blocking off the way. So how are we supposed to go about this? I'm feeling this as a move. But then maybe this. And it's not that clear how we can actually, you know, do it. Maybe double up the rooks. But if we double up here, then this is an instant attack. So maybe just a very simple clean cut rook 1 up. You know? Our opponent is playing the King's Indian. And a big weapon of the King's Indian is that bishop looking on this long diagonal. So if we can keep our pawns like this, you know, that actually helps us a lot because, yeah, because it's just not taking part in the game. Okay, let's double up on that knight. The queen is there, so it's not a total double up. We would lose all our rooks if we would go for this trade, so it's not a... If the queen wasn't there, I would trade the rook for the bishop and the knight, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But this is, I think this is the file where it's going to happen, guys. Sometimes you have a feeling. It's also the only file that's open. Now, a queen trade could also benefit us greatly. Because, yeah. Okay, so this queen is not really taking part in the game anymore. So we'll have to see some way to get the queen involved. But it's not that clear cut, you know? Should we go marching our pawn up? This knight is... Now that I start to realize it's stuck, by the way. If he would have played this, it would have been bye-bye knight. So maybe we gotta make a little escape for our knights. Before it just gets trapped. I think he could have trapped it already like a few moves ago. So thank God he didn't. And now we can also reroute the knight, which is also nice. Maybe start partaking in some offensive maneuvers. Okay, very good. The bishop attacking the pawn. So we're just gonna block it. Nothing too fancy, just a straight up block. Defensively, he's not playing too bad, you know. For the fact that he is a rook down. And it's also not too clear how I should put the pressure on my opponents. Okay. Queen there is certainly a move. Now I'm actually thinking about sacking the knight. To sack the knight. Maybe here even? No, because then we can take with the knight. Let's just first get our queen back. I feel like he's gonna try something crazy. Like go here. Which he still could do with the knight. Attacking my rook, which would suck. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly the move I was anticipating. So there goes our little doubled edge maneuver. But can we create some sort of threat? Let's see. If we go here, no. Then takes. And there's nothing. There's just nothing. We gotta move the rook, which I really don't want to do. But we don't have a choice. Where are we gonna move it? I think we have to move it here to keep defending that pawn. Otherwise, that would be a fork. Yeah, that would suck. Okay, they're playing pretty aggressive suddenly. But now we can maybe move this queen back, attack this. So let's see. Because we want to get in some trades, you know? Get in some sweet trades. So we've moved the queen there for no reason. Well, except to make sure that he doesn't actually come in with the queen. Whoa! Okay. That takes away the offensive. And now he's given away his bishop. So it's gonna be a grind him out kind of game. A grind him out kind of game. I'm really starting to look at this pawn move. What does he actually threaten? I don't see anything. Let's just go for the pawn. We're gonna go for some. We're gonna go pawn hunting, guys, because we have to speed this up. If not, we're never gonna win this game. Okay, thanks a lot. That's a fork. We were just taking it a little too easy maybe on our opponents. And now we've won the rook and the second rook, and we probably won the game. Got a little sidetracked there in the middle. Maybe I should have gone pawn hunting much sooner. But there were still a lot of pieces there, and then he got them all involved here. I think trading that bishop for the knight. I wasn't sure about that move, especially when you're down. You know, just don't do it. Okay, that certainly is an interesting move. Let's just keep playing. Okay, what does that accomplish? I don't think a lot. Let's just double up on the rooks. We're gonna be fine. Especially if we can get the queen here. And it's not gonna be... And there we go. The resignation! Okay, so a little messy there in the middle game. It's also not my strong suits per se, so I guess there was even a better option here. We were already completely winning, but God only knows what the move was. Was it this? Yes, it was. Immediately going for that offense. Okay, well, we didn't see that. We were too solid. That's usually what we do. Whoa, we were almost losing here even, you know. Then we got the rook, and it was basically just a bit shuffling pieces back and forth. Not trying to lose anything, and computer will always hate what you do because they find some ridiculous move. But all in all, you know, that's this game. So I hope that it's especially it's about the opening, okay, and the middle game that can derive from there usually is a pretty solid one for you. Because everything is very well defended. Okay? So this is something that you will find very often. And you know, if you play a little more accurate, you'll even find that you could win the game a lot more easy. A lot more easy? Anyways, a lot easier. No. Alright, well, I hope this was educational, and I'll see y'all next time.